So I mentioned this yesterday with my iPhone 8, and personally every single year I talk about this in ways way more than one, essentially how the next generation of software is affecting the oldest supported devices. And in my opinion, iOS 16 has greatly, I would say, impacted the older generations of iPhones more than just it being, if it was unstable or if it was having issues or whatever. This specific device, in my opinion, what Apple did with iOS 16, they completely almost affected what older iPhones mean to that company. What do I mean by that? Well, essentially, a lot of the big changes that we were expecting to see didn't really get brought over to these older iPhones. And I think this is a pretty big deal. With a phone like the iPhone 10, Apple limited this iPhone's capability like crazy. There were a lot of features implemented within iOS 16 that are no longer going to be added to these iPhones. Now, I kind of demonstrated this in that one video not too long ago, but essentially, if we go ahead and take a look, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Basically, Apple did a crazy thing where a lot of these specific software versions and whatever, a lot of these features require an iPhone XS or newer. So if we're just scrolling through here, you guys can see, as I scroll down, you can see A12 Bionic, A12 Bionic, iPhone XS, 10R newer. There's a lot of features that only work on those specific iPhones. And that is a very strange thing. And there's a lot of Siri stuff too that Apple put in that, like hanging up calls and or sending emojis through Siri. I'm not too sure why Apple couldn't have brought those types of features in with these types of devices. So since the iPhone 10 has that Apple A11 Bionic chip inside of it, in a way, it's limited in so many features from something like iOS 16. Now, personally, I do believe that with iOS 16, it as a whole is actually fairly interesting because it's really not that laggy of a software. It really hasn't been super glitchy with me. It is overheating a lot of my phones, which is totally expected. And as a first beta, I think Apple did a decent job. I do think this version of software has, kind of brought a lot of stuff to the table. But when I look at what even the next generation of the iPhone XS, what those iPhones got, I am super kind of uneasy about the future of a lot of these older supported iPhones. So in the future, when iOS 17 comes out, if the iPhone 10 gets dropped, which would be crazy if they were to do that, but if it were to get dropped, which is looking more likely to be honest, well then what's Apple going to be giving the well, how are they going to differentiate the features from the 10s and the 11s? Are they going to drop a bunch of different iPhones at that time too? Are they going to not support the iPhone 10s? Or are they going to go ahead and just limit the amount of features those iPhones are getting too? So even if the software is amazing and it's stable and everything, when you look at the next generation up and you see how many features those iPhones got, whether it's because of the chipset or whether it's because of X, Y, and Z, I feel like Apple could find some ways to go ahead and leverage these older iPhones and give us a better experience with a majority of the features rather than limiting some of the best features that the iPhone 10 got. So most years when I make a video like this, I will mention how the software experience is glitchy, how the phone is messing up, how it's all over the place, how I can't use it anymore. But that's not really what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like Apple, did a decent job with the software, but they just limited the amount of features like crazy, making this iPhone, in my opinion, kind of a sad decline of what it used to be. This thing was the $1,000 flagship of 2017, and now it's looking like Apple doesn't really care about it too much. So that kind of covers it. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.